And the fourth one?
And the fourth one married my husband's aunt,
Oh.
a sister of his mother. And this fourth one's last name was Yauch. His name was Leonard Yauch.
How do you spell that?
Yauch.
Okay.
And he, after they married, they moved to Pittsburgh.
Oh.
And it was 20 some odd years before they ever saw her again because people didn't travel like.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, when we got a station wagon in 1959, and my husband took his mother and his godfather, yes, and two aunts, and traveled to Pittsburgh in the station wagon, and visited with them.
And that was the first time
That was the first time in some 20 years.
Wow.
That she had seen
her sister.
And by that time, she had 5 children.
Yeah.
4 boys and a girl.
That's nice.
Yes, and after a time, she and her husband and the daughter moved to Youngsville.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what was the occasion? Why they did this? I don't know. Maybe it was to see her mother before she passed away. I don't recall. But they moved to Youngsville and stayed a few years. They lived in Youngsville for a time. And the daughter fell ill and died. She's buried in Youngsville.
At St. Anne's?
At St. Anne's. And not long after that, the mother died. That's my mother-in-law's sister.
Mm-hmm.
She died. Now, Mr. Yauch stayed over for a time, but then the 4 boys were still in Pittsburgh. They came over and took their daddy home.
Mm-hmm.
And he passed away over there and he's buried in Pittsburgh.
So what were the residents thinking about the prisoner of war camp here? Was it something that it was discussed, or?
I was so young, Glenda. I knew these were prisoners of war. I was old enough to know that. And we just, I guess,
it was just part of your life.
Part of your life, yeah.
Were they out and about in the town, or were they heavily under guard?
No, they had camps that they were kept in.
Mm-hmm. Was there a big fence around it?
We called them, I don't recall if there was a fence. And actually, they're saying, somebody said, or you said, it was where the park is.
Foster Park?
I remember them being where Green Tea Linden is.
Okay.
Because when we'd make that curve in the school bus,
yes,
they were very obvious there.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not sure that was part of the park at the time. That was before Green Tea was ever built.
Was the park even a park at the time?
No.
Or did it become a park after?
It became a park after.
Okay.
Way after.
Yeah.
But from my recollection, going to school, we could see the camps when we'd make the curve at the
at Railroad.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
They were
right
like
there,
where Green Tea would be to me.
So maybe it was big. Maybe it went from Green Tea, Linden, and Railroad Street all the way.
There were no houses back there,
right,
in that area.
Yeah.
It was basically a field, sugarcane,
and then the railroad came on the backside, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Now I'm not sure that I can say that for a fact, but I think these prisoners worked in the cane fields.
I've heard that.
But I can't be positive.
Right.
From my recollection, I believe they did.
Mm-hmm.
But they had the guards, and...
So Miss Lola told me that her mother stood guard at night.
She did?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
That was something that the teachers did, as they volunteered and would watch. They'd climb up in these towers,
yes,
and watch for airplanes or something.
No.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. Well, you know what? I need to stop. And can I come back and visit with you? There's so much more I want to ask you.
And so much
but I'm
more
sure
that I want to tell you.
Yes, I know. Can we schedule maybe another time next week?
Sure.
Okay.
Would